Your website and your Google business profile are the lifeline for your business. They can help drive new customers every day to your store, your business, your service. Right? And so today that's what we're going to be discussing in context of the Google SEO guide, right? Yes, Google does have that SEO guide. And today is our last show on this. And we've had many, many previous ones going over the guide for local businesses.
We have covered each and every point that Google suggests throughout their guideline.
That's it. So I'm Stephen Lau.
And I'm Tahmid Jawad.
And today we're going to talk about analyzing your search performance. And it's a topic that's inside the search engine optimization guide in Google. And it's the last point there because I think that you do need to treat your website like a living, breathing thing. That means that like you do your business anyways.
Right.
You know, if you're a restaurant, you're cleaning your business every single day. You're buying food for your business every single day so they can be cooked.
Right.
Like it's a living, breathing thing. And I think a lot of businesses, especially local businesses, they don't look at it that way. So I think it's important that you care for it that way because more and more people from a digital standpoint are looking at this. In fact, you did tell me once that you don't go to a restaurant unless it's a review of 4.5.
Absolutely. Not just restaurants, especially for restaurants because it's for food and I always want good food, right?
Yes.
So if it's restaurant, then I always check the reviews, and if it's not 4.5 plus, I wouldn't go to a restaurant. For other services, I also look at Google, but maybe the standard for that is not 4.5, maybe 4.2 or 4, depending on the industry, right? But I always look for Google reviews before choosing any type of service provider.
That's right. And in fact, with reviews in particular, getting reviews, of course, is super important, but also responding to the reviews. That means that it can be, if you get a review every day, you should log in every day and give a response, like maybe thank you. Or if it's a bad review, kind of explain, invite them to come back. This is not the usual behavior, all these kinds of things, right?
And also I feel sometimes reviews are a really good way to find out if there is anything wrong going on with your business, right?
That's right.
Maybe the sale is down, maybe something is going on, but you cannot figure out what's wrong, right? But
that's right.
Just by reading the reviews, you might get an idea from the customers directly what could be wrong.
Correct. And of course, Google also says, and we did talk about it earlier in the series here, the Search Console or Google Webmaster. It's a good guide for someone that's maintaining your website because it has all the information in there about what's wrong or even submitting to Google new pages and whatnot so that you can tell it what to do. And it can also kind of, it's like the doctor for your website.
Right.
And so it's there to tell you. Now, in the guide, it also says that Bing has Webmaster Tools as well. It actually recommends it in the Google guide. So
I mean, why not? It's just another tool to make your website better, to analyze the performance better, right? And if you guys have been following our journey together, then I'm quite sure you have done all the steps. Maybe you have submitted your website to Google Webmaster, done all the things right, the title tags and everything. But now the next task is to analyze the performance, right? Analyze the results of your effort. So
Google Analytics.
Google Analytics and Google Webmaster, log into your Google Webmaster, see if Google is properly crawling your website or not. Check your robot.txt file if it's properly functioning or not. Is it blocking any URL that it shouldn't be, right?
That's right.
Also, you can see what Google bot sees when it comes to your website. There is an emulator as well. You can kind of see each of the pages on your website.
Yes. So maybe we should explain that a little bit. Of course, Google is a computer.
Right.
And there's a special term called robot that it goes to your website. It's just looking at your website. And so when you view your website as a person, you're like, oh, look at all the design and the graphics and the pictures, looks really nice. The robot doesn't see that. It only sees the text. So you can kind of see what Google sees.
Yeah.
And then imagine if Google sees nothing, it means that it can't see the text on your page, which means it can't give you any guidance.
Right.
And so it doesn't know what it's all about. So you want to be careful that text is not overly embedded in graphics, as an example, right? But I think now, with regards to performance, though, analytics is critical.
For sure.
Analytics is critical. And because in analytics, and we're not going to get in depth into it, but you can take a look and set up goals and events that occur on your website. Like, did someone click on my phone number from a mobile device? Did someone go to my form? Did someone fill out my form, right? Did they click on my email address? How many people clicked on my special, right? So all of those can be reported on a regular basis.
Right, and also the landing pages that are most popular on your website. If there are certain areas on your website where people are not visiting, but you want them to visit, so maybe you have to improve those pages, the content, the pictures, and everything, right? So
that's it.
All those things you have to kind of analyze on a regular basis. The best idea is to analyze maybe month-to-month basis, right?
Or even sooner. It depends on how big your business is.
Depends on how your business is, right? Yeah.
So another important point as well is Google Insight. From your Google profile, Google gives you analytics on your own Google My Business profile.
Right.
And so what's important there is that it tells you how many people looked you up with different types of keywords. It also tells you how many people looked you up on a map, how many people asked for directions, how many people tried to give you a call.
Right.
It also tells you what part of the city they're looking by postal code.
Yeah, and also the days, right?
Yes.
In what days you are getting most of the calls, most of the people are visiting. So you kind of have an idea about when people are looking for your business, right?
That's right. That's right. And I think this type of behavior and looking at Google Webmaster or the Search Console or even Google Insights has to become kind of a regular thing.
Right.
You know? I mean, every day you might take a look at your finances. It's like, how did I do today? How much money did I make? Well, you got to correlate that with how they get to your business. And so if you can get any kind of semblance about how they got there in the first place, especially from digital, you should use those things.
Yeah, and I know maybe you're thinking that's too many things to look at. Maybe you have to check your Google Insights, your Google Webmaster, your Google Analytics. But there's a way to combine all of them together, right?
That's right. In fact, Google Data Studio is a product from Google that allows you to create a dashboard for your business,
where you can see the performance from all these tools together.
Exactly. It's like, where did all my phone calls come from? Did it come from my profile? Did it come from my website? Did it come from my Facebook campaign? Did it come from my Google AdWords campaign? Did it come from an email that I send out? Did it come from my partners or partner websites? So you can tell all of those things.
And Google Data Studio is something I feel very interesting. Even though they don't cover it in the SEO guide, because it's still a very new tool for the people. So, but maybe we can do a standalone video for Google
Data Studio.
Data Studio itself, maybe later. Yeah.
So in summary, I think that most local businesses should treat their website like a living, breathing thing. You got to go back to it on a more regular basis, not just yearly or monthly. Depending on the flow of your business, you might want to visit that on a more regular basis, just like you would in your regular type business anyways, right? And so you should also use any tools that tell you anything wrong with your website. You should use tools to analyze the performance like Google Analytics, Google Insights in your Google My Business profile, right? Because all the information is in there. And if it's not prepared properly for you, you can aggregate that into Google Data Studio or have someone do that for you, because it's so nice to just take a look at a summary and say, how did I do today? And then correlate that with maybe the amount of money that you're making or the number of sales or new customers that you have in your business. And I think that's super important.
Yeah.
And so we've now come to the end of our summary of the Google SEO guide. And of course, there is that guide that's online. Google tells you exactly what you need to do in order to rank well on search engines and get more business for your business, right? So if you have any more questions about any aspect of search engine optimization or the Google guide for SEO, or just analyzing your performance, make sure to drop us a line. We're more than happy to hear from you, and we're more than happy to answer any questions. I'm Stephen Lau, signing off.
And I'm Tahmid Jawad, signing off.
If you like this video, please share,
Like,
and subscribe to our channel.